Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. I just watched a movie called Deadbolt on Tubi, so you know it was free. This is rated TV MA. I'm not sure what Tubi does with their ratings systems because
Hi,
they don't
I'm
always seem
Amelia.
to
I'm here about the
align very
place.
well
Come in.
with some of their movies. This
This
is
is
1 hour and
you.
23
Any
minutes. It's a
plans
horror
of
thriller,
company over? No,
definitely more on
I'm
the
recently
thriller
single.
side.
I get it.
This was
I'm
written
heading out.
by
You good?
Michael
I'm just looking for
Rinaldi,
something. I
and
swear I
that
put
name
it in
does
this
sound familiar
drawer.
to me, so I'm probably sure I've reviewed something else that he's done. Directed by Mars
Melinda?
Horodowski.
I was hearing all these weird noises
Starring
upstairs.
Did she
Rebecca
tell her this place was
Lydiard
haunted?
as
What?
Amelia, our
The last
main
tenant
character.
disappeared.
She
Probably
has
just
been
mice.
Let's look up the house and
on
see if
some
it's got any
other
weird history.
TV shows that kind of border the horror genre,
Probably just the rats.
particularly the Fargo TV show and Clarice, the one and done season Clarice, which I actually
Terrible
did
tragedy
enjoy.
with a little family.
David is played by Jamie
Side effects of your
Spilchuk
medication,
and
auditory
Melinda
and visual
Camille Stock.
hallucinations.
Those are the
Someone's
three
here.
main characters. We have Amelia's ex-boyfriend Colin, played by Joey Belfiore, and we have some creepy neighbors. So the whole idea here is Amelia is trying to get that fresh start. Oh, let me read the synopsis. Here it is. Seeking a fresh start, a young woman finds her sanity on the brink due to unexplained disappearances and chilling nocturnal echoes in her new home. So she's starting a fresh start. She had a rocky breakup with Colin, and she finds a room for rent, which is in the house owned by Melinda. And Melinda is kind of a quirky, free spirit and kind of fun. Amelia just wants to kind of come in quietly and just assume her room and then try to just kind of collect herself. She's on anti anxiety meds, which go missing at one point, and then mysteriously reappear. And so while we're, in the first part of the movie, we're exploring the personalities of all of these main characters. Colin hasn't really entered the scene yet, but Amelia gets dragged out by Melinda to have a good time and a welcome thing, and Melinda's just a very free spirit. And she kisses Amelia a couple different times throughout in like a grandmotherish way, not in a sexual way. At first, I thought maybe they were hinting at it. I'm not sure if that's was a missed red herring thing, but she's just like a goofy free spirit. Amelia does end up meeting David, and so then we see this little interaction between the two throughout the next kind of part of the movie and their relationship build. But then Colin kind of comes into the play, and we realize that he had been stalking Amelia a couple different times. There were some scenes where Amelia was um, feeling like she was being followed, and there was like a dark shadow figure behind her. And was it Colin or something else? Who knows? Um, there's a lot of nighttime shots in this. It was filmed a lot at night, so some of the scenes are a little dark. I think that's intended, so it's that again. It's not a criticism. Um, we do get some Amelia action within the house when at night she hears things and she investigates a little bit. She gets, creeped out. So there's like very, slight, tense, suspenseful moments with that. I wouldn't call it like full blown horror vibes. There's a scene where one of the nights that she's doing this, she finds Melinda downstairs with a man, and who happens to be like Melinda's ex-boyfriend as well, trying to get back together. And Amelia was like, "Did you guys hear any noises?" And Melinda's like, "No." And you can tell she's kind of like repressing. She's in denial. She's just like, if I don't acknowledge it, it doesn't exist, kind of a thing. But the boyfriend um, the ex-boyfriend of Melinda spills the tea and is like, oh, didn't Melinda tell you about how the house is haunted? Or how there's been former roommates that have gone missing. And so that kind of alarms Amelia a little bit. So we do, she Scooby-Doos this shit and gets online, and she does the research. She does her due diligence and finds out the history of the rumors of the house being haunted and that there were people that had gone missing in the past. Doesn't really go a lot further than that. The suspense level doesn't really amp up, and it kind of just gets to the point where Melinda gets a facial rash after using some skincare products, and then really starts occupying a lot of Amelia's time. Amelia feels very like motherish, I guess, but she's also feeling like she's being manipulated by Melinda. So she does leave for the evening and meets up with David. They finally seal the deal, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. And that's when things get a little wonky, because then Melinda ends up, not alive anymore. And then David says that he will stay with Amelia to protect her, and then kind of goes from there. It's a little spoilerish because there's not a whole lot of story other than almost pretty much what I just said. It's not a horrible movie. It's just not hard to figure out what the intended twist ending was. The creepy neighbors, like there's the obligatory red herrings throughout. The ex-boyfriend Melinda. There's like creepy neighbor guy who wants his cat, can't find his cat. That creepy neighbor has a wonderful wife who also gives some background into the history of the house, and one of the first ever parts of the lore of the house that has kind of gone into urban legend territory. So there's like the story that we find out about the house from the neighbor woman. And then once you hear that, it is not a leap to figure out, everything that's going on. But it's not a horrible movie. It's Deadbolt. I don't remember there being a reference to the Deadbolt. I do remember at the beginning of the movie, when Melinda was showing Amelia around, there was a particular door that was hard to close. I don't know if I missed the word deadbolt being used. I don't remember there being a deadbolt as a main plot device in this movie. So if you watch it and you pick that up, leave it in the comments down below. If you're looking for a horror movie, this is really a thriller. This reminded me of something that one of the network TV channels in the 90s maybe would have had on one of their Friday night movie nights, because it was that style, it was that kind of feel. It gave me a vibe of like being a kid watching something that was supposed to be like this big scary thriller on network television, and it just that's how it kind of goes with like soap opera level actors and actresses. All the acting and the cinematography is all good. The audio is good. So there's a lot of dark scenes, like I said, because it's shot at night for a lot of scenes. But it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's got a 5.2 on IMDb, which is probably fair. So if you go on to look at this movie, let me know in the comments down below. And keep coming back to the channel for more great stuff.
Row 18, plot 20.